to the chaos of a bus driver cruising through the neighborhood.
So I would do some cocaine at the house and put on these different.
Theo Von Louisiana childhood stories.
I remember I got on a school bus one day and the man didn't even take us to school. He just drove us around.
These are the most insane Theo Von stories. Let's dive in.
It's Theo.
As a child at night before I go to bed, I'd piss off each side of my bed and I'd piss around it. I'd stand on my bed and urinate around it. Just to keep, whatever bad stuff could.
To keep the bad stuff from getting you, you have to do what now?
Yeah. Dude, and cocaine. Oh, go back to that vest story, man. So here's what happened. So I would do some cocaine at the house and put on these different vests.
How many did you buy again?
I don't know. I spent too much on them, but I would probably say the priciest one I had was probably about $210. Nice.
Damn.
Yeah. And so I would get fucked up and put these vests on and put on sunglasses and no like Buffalo Bill shit, but at least partying by myself, And one time I was making a smoothie, because I got like a new, I don't know what kind of blender it is, but it's pretty nice. And I was making like a nice smoothie and I'm fucking coked up, I'm partying, I'm living high on the hog. Got these 2 vests on maybe, right? And I thought I heard something outside, right? Which is kind of weird to even think of when you have a blender going, right? So I leave out of my apartment to go in the hallway, lock myself out with the blender going, 2:30 in the morning, coked up out of my brain, right? Now I have to go to my landlord, dude, who lives right down the hall, and tell him like, hey, man.
2:30 in the morning? I got locked out. And the blender's on, son. Oh, my God. He must have hated you.
Oh, the blender shorts out and smoke happens. The fire alarm starts going off in the building right as I'm at his door knocking, right?
Oh, my God.
So now he's pissed, and he's like, what's going on? And I didn't know what to say. I told him that I was throwing a late Christmas party, dude. It was fucking end of January.
How old were you at the time?
Huh? Oh, this is 2.5 years ago. So I was 35. Bro, so he comes back to my apartment, right? He's fucking pissed. He unlocks the door. There's nobody in there.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, man, but it was fun.
Oh, my God.
That was fun.
How long did you live there for?
I still live there.
Whoa.
Yeah, we've patched. We've kind of, like I've caught him doing some things. So I think
Craziest cocaine story if I've ever heard one.
It felt like March of the Penguins a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Were you fucked up?
Yeah, I'm sure I've been drinking. This is back when I used to drink a little.
So what did you like the most when you were partying?
Oh, cocaine, man.
Did you have a top 3 cities that you would go to? You know what I mean? Like that you would look forward to, and you're like, that, like, you know what I mean? Like when you get a date, you're like, fucking Tempe, that's where it's gonna go.
Oh, Tempe was always just a fun place because it was always a lot of girls there.
But what was the best coke place?
Oh, I didn't really have them. I mean, New York or LA, really.
Really?
Yeah, it was just, I didn't do it for long. I just did it sometimes up at the Comedy Store. And when I would do it, I would get off into these, it almost gave me an excuse to just get into whatever. Like I remember buying a bunch of coke from a dude that had a wolf over up near the 101 and Vine.
He had a wolf?
This dude had a fucking wolf, bro.
Not like a Siberian husky.
No, I'm talking like Jack London, dude, like straight out the book, And this dude put him in the back seat, bro. He gets in the car. I just want some coke. He gets a call. His mom had died.
During the...
Yeah.
What do you do?
You have to be there for them.
For your coke dealer.
Bro, it was so...
How long did you stay in the car?
Probably 2.5 hours, dude.
For an 8 ball?
Heartbroken.
Does
Yeah.
he give it to you for free? Is he like...
No, at the end I still had to pay and everything, but it was heartbreaking. I drove him around for a while. I mean, I just felt horrible. We didn't have anybody to call. It was almost sad.
Just another one of Theo's casual cocaine lures.
And once in the 80s and in 1994, a bunch of infected monkeys got out because Tulane University had their primate testing facility center in our town. And a bunch of infected monkeys got out, and they let us out of YMCA summer camp to help the police look for them, bro. I remember they came to summer camp and they basically took
sent kids to look for...
Let me get that pen real quick.
Not kids, dude, the tallest boys. They took the tallest boys right out and we helped them look for them. I remember surrounding a couple of chimps outside of a Kenny Rogers Roasters, dude.
Theo's having the best summer camp of his life.
Dude, I've ended up in a lot of shit like that. They had a guy in high school who went to the senior prom, right? And so he asked me to give him a ride to like this party after.
Yeah.
in the car, he starts telling me that he wants to move to Hollywood, right?
And where are you? This is in
High school, Louisiana.
Okay. All right.
In Mandeville, Louisiana. So he starts telling me, and then he says that people have always said he looks like Damon Wayans, right? Remember Damon Wayans?
Sure.
And he is like, it's a white guy with like a shaved head.
It's a white guy?
Yeah, bro.
He's like, people are always saying I look like Damon Wayans.
And that's why he wants to go to Hollywood, bro. And he's like bawling, crying in my car. He had on one of those shirts.
Wait, why is he bawling crying?
I don't know. He had on one of those shirts with like those shoulder pads in it. Remember, like your mom used to wear sometimes. You know, like it was like feminism, but it was a shirt.
Yes.
And it was dude, he had on one of those, bro, and he was crying.
The shoulder pads was a bad fad, man. The craziest.
My mom had so many of those.
Yeah, of course.
If your mom didn't have a husband, she had a couple of those jackets.
Yeah, no, those were big. Those were big, dude. The 80s.
And he had that on. He just literally had to just be. I had to just like be there for him. I had to sit there and listen and just be supportive, you know. But and I missed the whole after party.
That sucks.
I've
It's prom
seen your
night.
prom, yeah.
Jesus.
It was the
Just
worst.
listen to him.
Delusion at its peak.
Well, when I was a kid, they had a boy in our neighborhood named Mario, right? And he was, dude, he ended up dying, actually. He did some pills and drove into an embankment. But when I was young, he would shit in his yard, make me bury it. And that's how I was allowed to be friends with him.
How did he make you bury it?
He just asked me to do it, and I was afraid not to do it, I think.
He said, "Hey, yo, dude, you're not going to believe this, but I took a shit, and it's out my yard. I can't even bury it because I'll throw up. Hey, do me a favor and go bury it?"
Yeah. He was dark, man. He had a real dark vision. And he would, I mean, he probably, honestly, dude, he probably shit 200, 300 times, and I buried it.
No.
I swear to God.
Come on.
I swear to
Really?
God. I swear to God, dude. And he,
How'd you not run out of places to make new holes? Did you think you ever dug up old shit to put in new shit?
oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. We basically had like the only setup I had, and I didn't even have a strong system. The only setup I had was like one of those plastic, beach,
Oh, no.
like a beach setup. Dude, I'm
How'd you
talking,
get
I was
in there?
7.
So, wait a minute. This 7-year-old was doing this? How old was he?
He was 8 or 9.
Oh, he's tricking you by
Yeah.
being older.
He was older. And
2 years when you're 7 is a long stretch. You know, when you're 32,
Oh, yeah.
32, 34, that doesn't mean shit.
whatever, dude.
But 7 and 9, that's a big stretch.
Yeah, you go shit at your house, buddy. That's what I tell people now. But-
So for what was do you remember the first? There's no way you really remember.
I remember
what
100%.
he said.
I don't remember what he said, but I remember.
How did it happen? How did it happen? Will you find yourself with a plastic shovel and another person's shit going, damn. How did it come to this?
Well, it came to it because I know my brother probably wasn't around, and I wanted somebody to play with, and he was older, so I was hanging out, and he was deviant, man.
Just to hang out.
You know, I grew up around some fucking real crazy poor white people. You know, the dude, they had a dude in our town, no arms, used to fucking fight everybody. You know that dude. You know what I'm saying? He'd get you in that lurch. He would catch you between his chin and his chest. He would fucking snack you like a snake.
We were talking about this dude.
His boy Gert was his name. And he would just get you like that, bruh. And he'd choke you down.
He had no arm.
No arms at all. And he'd fight anybody, dude. And he would choke you. He would.
So if you went to punch him, how would he block?
Oh, bro. He'd spin out of it. He'd spin, he'd duck, he'd dodge. The dude had, he just.
And would he catch your hand with his neck?
Huh?
Would he catch your
Oh,
hand?
he would just lurch at you. And, bro, the thing is, here was the.
Oh, you know what? If he hits you with that shoulder, you're going down.
Yeah, part of it. But the
Because,
big move was that choke. He would catch you like this.
Where would he catch you? Your
In
hand?
your neck. He would catch you neck to neck.
That's fucking crazy.
Oh, once he got you neck to neck, Gert Yuva, the whole family was fucking.
He could choke you.
Guy was more skilled than people with arms.
By a bunch of cats on my birthday once, dude. I'm not even joking, dude. And one of them, I swear to God, some of them got me on the ground, and one of them came off a fucking rooftop from next door. I swear to God, I still remember a couple of them were getting me and looking back and seeing one come from something in the air.
One in a lifetime birthday experience.
You know, they had the first wigger I ever met was from our town, bro. I think the first wig I ever, man. This kid named Brian St. Pierre, bro. And they put him in
he was
class.
a white dude that was trying to be black?
Yeah, he was a white dude. They
Where
put
did he
him
move from?
I don't fuck nowhere, bro. He fucking just, he was raised like kind of like, he was like Mowgli, like he was just fucking spent a little bit of time on the other side of town, and the brothers really got a hold of him.
And and he was cool though. He was a cool dude, man. Mowgli. He was, bro. He was like a Mowgli, you know.
My whole body just shook. I thought it was an earthquake for a minute.
He was like,
Oh my God.
that's an inner yoga, bro. That's an inner yoga. But look, man, they put him in the fucking mentally handicapped class, bro, because they'd never seen it before. They'd never seen it before. They put him in class with kids with Down syndrome, with kids in wheelchairs. They
Being called Mowgli and put in with the handicapped students is a straight-up violation.
table, we get some kids who were mentals, or a couple of them might have been mentals, and a couple kids that were well, you know, and we get there and sit them to make them drink milk and then tell jokes and do stuff until one of them just blew milk out of their face, you know? And if you get some straight up just couple mentals, boy, some straight up sawed off humans, you get them to straight up blow leche out their dome, dude.
Blowing leche out. That's America right there.
I remember I got on a school bus one day, and the man didn't even take us to school. He just drove us around, and
Fuck off.
swear to God, and then just drove us back home eventually.
What's wrong with him?
He didn't say anything either.
Probably drunk.
I wouldn't get mad about that either.
Oh, Greyhound's unbelievable, dude. I remember one time a guy's on there, right, sitting by me. He goes, hey, there was a brother on there, and he goes, hey, you want to see something? And I thought it was going to be his wiener, right? Because I've been on the bus before.
But you said yes.
Well, it was a 2-hour ride. I was like, I'll fucking see it now. You know, I'm not going to pretend
So you thought he cut a hole in the bottom of your head.
Yeah, I thought
I get it.
some wiener trick,
Been there,
you know?
totally. The old Greyhound wiener trick.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that this was Theo's first thought, as it makes his childhood sound concerning.
No, I was like, yeah, I'll see it, you know? And he had a bag of jewelry and a gun, and he just robbed a jewelry store.
Wow.
And he had a
Did
bag
you
of
buy
jewelry
any?
and a gun. No, I didn't buy any, but he wanted me to sit there and look at it, and I put on a couple of the necklaces or whatever. And
Did you act impressed?
Oh, yeah, because I was scared. And they always give the guy, you know, once you get out of jail, they give you a ticket on the fucking Greyhound.
But imagine you rob a jewelry store and your getaway vehicle is a Greyhound bus.
Unbelievable.
You are retarded if you're doing that.
Life just gets crazier and crazier.
They buy it every time.
You got Chinese eyes right now, bro. Dude, people used to always call me Little China Boy when I was in, like in the summertime when I was at summer camp, because they had like, remember, it's not dander, what is it? That comes off of nature, you know what I'm talking about?
Pollen?
Pollen. So, yeah, they have it everywhere. And anyway, you go outside. They do, dude.
Pollen, bro? Yeah. I know this guy. He's learning every day, bro. Yeah, you don't know much.
He doesn't believe us,
He
bro.
doesn't believe, yeah, like as it was a joke. You know what I mean? There's pollen out there, bro.
They have pollen everywhere, dude. They have pollen looking at you right now, bro, from point blank range. Think about that. That's how powerful it is.
Shit.
It can be milling around in front of you at point blank range.
Yeah, man.
And it would get in my eyes, and I couldn't open my eyes at all. For sometimes even almost a month. Like I could barely get my eyes open a little bitty bit.
So they would call you China Boy?
Yeah.
Bobby definitely triggered something here.
The bus driver originally cut our hair. And he drove bus one, Mr. Ray was his name, and he'd pull the bus over once every couple weeks, and he cut everybody on that bit. Everybody got the same cut on that bitch, everybody. Something happened to him. He might have been changing a tire and got hit by a vehicle or something, you know, natural causes or whatever, you know, whatever natural causes were back then. Something happened to Mr. Ray, and so we had to go to Miss Bobby, or Miss Billy, I can't remember her name, Bobby or Billy. And they wanted her to be a man. You could tell. You saw old pictures of her. Her daddy had dressed her up like a man when she was a kid, and they wrote even, you know, you'd see somebody write man in here on her back. You know, somebody would write that on her back, and, you know, she'd have a picture of her in college and somebody written man in here on her back. I think that might have been the original trans, was somebody just writing, you know, man in here.
Never heard of bus drivers having a dress code for being in their buses.
We had a dude who used to give you, he'd always have raisins in his pockets, individual raisins, and he'd give you a couple of them. We had a dude, my dad had a friend, and he'd put cinnamon on the fucking palm of his hand and let you lick it off. And this was probably, and then one of his feet was longer than the other one. Or he had a
What the fuck is the name? Where
extra foot, or
Where
not,
were-
he was black.
where were
And he
you?
had like half of an extra foot. So black
Throwing out
people,
the bottom of it?
well, black people are always trying to show off, but he had like a
Well, hold on a second.
he had like a lift on his shoe. One of his feet wasn't that long.
Oh, one of
legs.
his feet. Oh, I thought you meant he had like 2 feet stacked, like a.
When Theo knows guys,
You're bombing. You got to dig yourself out. Have you ever had one where you don't get out?
Yeah. I got two of my crazy memories. One time, some dude laughed so hard at the show, he came out of the closet to his buddies just right in front of him. Swear to God, he's just like, I'm gay! It like fucking literally like jarred something in his stem, And his buddies like, what the fuck, dude? It's right up by the front.
You made him laugh so hard, he just admitted he's gay.
One of his buddies spit milk or spill it on, not milk, beer.
Yeah.
I'm gay. Yeah. And his buddies are like, what the fuck, dude? And it was awkward because it seemed kind of real.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've had people say a lot of stuff. You're like, that guy's retarded. But this guy seemed like he might have been honestly homosexual. And then the other time that I really bombed.
made him laugh so hard he just admitted it.
Because I'm not trying to fucking, bring anybody to the other side of the sexual ledger,
Well,
Oh, yeah. Dude, I fell asleep one time. This cop wakes me up, right? He goes, Did you see them? Do you know where they're at? And I'm like, what the fuck? I have no idea what's going on, right? He goes, somebody called in, 2 wolves were fighting in the street here, right? So, dude, I'm at an intersection of this dead town, bro. I lived in this side town for a little while during high school. Fell asleep at the fucking wheel, right? So I'm dead asleep. The cop wakes me up, right? He's like, did you see it? And I'm just like, what? I'm just thinking, what was it? Did I do it? Was I involved in it? Who am I? And he's like talking to somebody else, the other guy who's probably just across the street, And he's like, somebody called it in, 2 wolves fighting in the intersection. And I'm like thinking, we don't even have wolves in Louisiana, So how are you really out here looking for that?
But also, shouldn't you be solving crime?
But also you have a
see 2 wolves
drunk
fighting?
driver who's obviously stalled out at a stoplight.
Hey, bro, wait up. What, he's the worst cop of all time?
The worst.
Oh, my God.
And he'd be like, all right, if you see anything, let us know. And they were out.
No problem, officer. Good luck catching wolves fighting.
Damn.
When you realize you've been sleeping with wolves fighting around you.
So we had a dent in a car or vehicle or whatever you guys call them. And yeah. And dude, we caught a couple of pigeons and got them to shit over the dent.
Oh, you just held the pigeon over there? You kept feeding it?
Squeezed it a
We
little?
didn't feed them. They'll shit pretty soon after you hold them. And we turned it in, and when it had this kind of, just a shit finish, I guess, on it. And they didn't see the dent. They didn't.
Just shitting the dent clean.
do you think there's more porn stars or murderers in the world? I think murderers. I actually know a guy, I shouldn't say this on here, but I'm not going to say names, but I know a guy who killed someone. And he said, and this isn't me saying this, dude, I wouldn't do something like this. But he said that it fucking feels good. And he did say that.
Do you know how he murdered him?
Huh?
Do you know how he murdered him?
I don't know anything else, man. Let me see that.
Absolutely nothing to say about this one.
Oh, you ate them, you saying?
Yeah, but
You guys ate owls?
yeah.
I don't think that's legal. You probably shouldn't say that on the podcast.
Well, I didn't have a lot. I'll tell you this, if you want to feed a family of 4, you can't just have 1 owl. I will say that, though.
Well, if you look at what it looks like without the feathers, it looks like
That's what I'm saying.
fucking demon.
Yeah.
It's
a real bait and switch, I feel like. It's one of God's hidden agendas.
Well, I was talking.
Now that is an original experience.
Oh, I remember one time I got stuck in a tunnel. My car broke down in a tunnel in Pittsburgh, and I had to defecate extremely, and that's French actually for shit.
Yeah.
And I had to defecate. And so I got in my back seat of my car, and I didn't have any choice. This was like, it was like something had gotten into my body, like a pink eye had gotten into my stomach. And all the shit in my body was coming out of my body. And I had to defecate into a frisbee. I had an upside down frisbee was all I had.
Really? Be real.
Yeah.
Yeah?
What? And so I'm in this tunnel. There were cars whizzing by. Here's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Extremely hard to poop when cars are going by at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. And
That is one hell of an experience. Like, who knew it wouldn't be easy with the cars going 50 or 70?
Dude at this party, and he'd apparently had taken a bunch of acid he put in his mouth. And for, $4, whatever, he would like spit into your mouth like a hit of acid.
Why would you do something like that? That's disgusting.
But there wasn't anything else to do.
So I'm gonna let some fucking stranger spit acid in my mouth.
Theo has contacts. Contacts.
Well, we had a dude, Mr. Patrick. He'd give you 20, 40 bucks. He'd walk about 60 feet from you, show you his asshole. As long as you looked at it, you kept the money.
That's fucking amazing.
You know? And is that pedophilia? I don't know what that is. That's art.
That's an
Yeah,
ATM.
that's kind of art.
Yeah, that's an ATM, dude.
Yeah,
Definitely, dude.
that's amazing.
That's ass to money, dude. You know? But yeah. And as long as he would only look, he'd kind of look back once to make sure you were locked in, dude.
That's
and I
fucking
didn't
incredible.
feel like it, you know, I didn't like watching him take his belt off, but I didn't mind seeing his asshole from far away.
One of Theo's easy money.
Buddy, this one dude used to put he would start to do a little dust, you know, start touching his asshole, bro. By the end of the night, if we had a couple of bags, he'd have 4 fingers in his fucking ass, dude. He had like you know, that some of those people eat their hair. You see those videos where people eat their hair, you know? He just had like a weird tick like that, where he would just, I don't know what it was. He just like
Under the pants? He would go in the pants?
Oh, in his ass, in his own ass.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
People have some weird ticks.
Please.
I'm in San Francisco, and it's at like a weed conference or something, right? And I don't even smoke weed. So I'm at the place, people are blowing weed smoke in the air and stuff, and so I start getting just zooted out on stage, bro. There's a guy dressed, it's like the San Francisco weed conference. There's just some it was bad.
Yeah. Was this pre-legal or legalized?
It was
weed?
pre-legal.
Okay. So weed was still a big deal.
There were like booths. There was like THC stuff, but it was still, they were pushing the limits.
Right.
And some guy was dressed like a captain, like a total captain. He brings me on stage. At that point, I am so cooked out of my gizzard. Like the whole people have just been blowing joints. I'm the last act of the day. It's been an all-day affair. There's probably 13 people in a room that would seat maybe 150.
Oh boy.
All just folding chairs. The guy in the front is mentally disabled, right? Nobody tells me.
Yeah.
Nobody tells me. I get up there. I literally didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know that I was a comedian. I didn't know what was happening.
Oh, you were that high.
I didn't know if I was an auctioneer. I didn't know what was happening, man. It was not good, right? And this guy starts saying stuff, messing with me. And finally somebody yells out, could have even been you, yells out, "That guy's retarded," right? And I was like, well, put a sign on him then, you know, right?
That's a good line.
And then finally, it was the first laughs I got, dude. And I quit. I got down. I was like, I'm done. I think it had literally been 4 minutes, dude.
But when you're high, 4 minutes is like a week.
I think the guy there was like, man, you did great, dude. You did great.
Oh,
paid me
good.
my money.
All right.
It was
That's a
booked
happy
through an
ending.
agent. Yeah. They paid me $1,000.
Oh, that's big.
That was big.
Not a bad gig. Just trash this Downsy kid and get a check.
Yeah. But dude.
Could be worse.
Being on stage and not remembering you're a comedian and still getting $1,000 for it is wild.
I said these hamsters you could play with until the second bell rang or whatever. Then you had to put them in a cage and everybody then we would do learning, you know? And this fucking one time they had this hamster, right? Superman, we named him. And I was holding him in this fucking big sweatshirt I had, right? And after class, I forgot he was in there. He fell asleep in the little pocket, right? Where you put your hands, right? So after class, I just throw him a book bag. I'm running. Next thing you know, I get in a fight with 2 brothers, right? Get beat up pretty good. And one of them had fucking killed this hamster that was still in this pouch. He'd fucking punched it. So I never had it, like, sometimes I'm not even joking, bro. I'll have dreams where I feel like I had an abortion.
That left him traumatized.
One of my best friends got fucked up one time and he started talking about Asian people. We never even seen any Asians in our life. And he started
in your life?
No, and I guess maybe like in a past life he might have known some Asians, you know? And so he starts bringing up their names, bro, and knowing them and knowing shit about them on this mattress in this house. And I'm like, fuck, dude, you're fucked up, bro. I'm leaving, right? So apparently I'm the kind of friend that when your friend is at his worst, you fucking leave, bro. Because I was
He's
just
talking about Chinese people.
Yeah,
He's never met Chinese people.
We never known any.
So what is he saying?
He's just saying like, hey, you remember fucking you remember fucking Sun Lam, bro? He was there for us, you know, and all this shit. I'm like, Sun Lam, bro? We don't know him, dude. You know, and he was fucking like talking about Dorothy, you know, we didn't know any Asians, bro. And I'm like, I gotta get away
So
from
where you
this
came
dude.
from, when you grew up, there was no Asians in that neighborhood? Not when you were there. Now there's probably 4.
Yeah.
when you have no idea and how to comfort people.
I used to be into like powerlifting and everything, dude. I used to be jacked back in the day.
Really?
I was an animal, dude. I was fucking
Were you on them
sprinkling
steroids?
protein powder under my.
Were you
under
on
my,
them steroids, though?
I was on steroids for a while when I was young, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
You were on
I was on
steroids?
testosterone, something. Yeah.
You just decided to run a stack just to get jacked?
Yeah, it was like a southern stack. It was like testosterone and like Crisco or something.
I was gonna say gravy, fucking test and gravy, Deca D-ball and fucking fried chicken.
Yeah. Oh, I was so jacked.
And Mountain Dew Red.
Dude, I was so jacked at one point. I couldn't use Q-tips in my ears because I couldn't get my.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there pictures online of this?
I don't know. There might be.
How jacked does one have to be to not be able to use Q-tips in their ears?
A bunch of black dudes, but they win. They win, dude. Dude, I got jumped one time after a football game by 5 black dudes. I don't know if you ever fought 5 black dudes at night. Just imagine you're fighting 5 black dudes, right? Now close your eyes. Now how many black dudes are you fighting? As many as your imagination can hold.
The time he got into a fight with some black dudes, it was something.
Now I'm telling jokes? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then telling people when you go back home and they've never seen you, they've never heard of you, they think you're gay. They're just like, you won't like, they're like, you keep flying home, you don't have any money, and you're not bringing a girl home.
You're
you have
hiding
these
from
jokes.
something.
Yeah, you're hiding from something, you know?
Yeah.
Just come out. I remember my stepdad is yelling at me in the yard one time.
Told you to come out?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not fucking gay, bro. I was like, I'm just not flying some girl home that I just met, you know, just to prove to
He
you
thought
guys.
he could catch you. He thought he could catch you in a lie.
Forced to come out?
The gas station, and they had this man, and I was thinking, oh, this guy will buy some vodka. He looks like he drinks some vodka. And it was daytime, you know, it's probably maybe 11 a.m. So I pick it, I say, hey man, will you get us some liquor? He said, yeah. I said, all right, here's the money. You got to go in and get the liquor, come back out and get in the car. It was kind of dude you had to give exact directions to.
In Theo's defense, this seems like a reasonable thing to do.
So anyway, he gets back in the car, he's got the liquor. And that's when this dude told me, he's like, you know, I'm the headbutting champion in the world, right? I'm driving us off. He has the vodka. And I want the vodka from him, right?
You're trying to get fucked up.
And he goes, you know, I'm the headbutting champion of the world, right? And this dude's homeless, okay? So you start to see him kind of just looking at me as I just feel like suddenly.
He was sizing up your dome.
Yeah, suddenly I'm looking forward driving and he's looking directly at me, right?
You can feel it.
There is no us. We're not going anywhere anymore. He is just in the car with me. And so I pull, and he goes, do you think you could beat me? And I knew, but when he said, do you think anything at that point, I'm already thinking of the cops. I'm thinking of my funeral. I'm thinking of dude in the back. Get in there!
Theo should have just waited for a different person to show up, as he was now in a very bad situation that was hard to get out of.
So I pull over because I'm not going to get knocked unconscious while I'm moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So this dude, he goes, you want to know? And I know he couldn't even hear me anymore. I'm saying no.
He's seeing red.
Oh, yeah.
For him, it's game time.
Yeah, it's game time, dude. Yeah. I'm saying no in different ways. I'm saying no in different languages. And you can tell it's not registering in his head. And he just lines me up, right? And just hit me as hard as he could with his fucking head, bro. Yeah, knocked me completely unconscious.
With Theo now knocked out and a homeless guy in his car, you can only imagine what happened next.
Here's the crazy part. He didn't even touch me with his hands.
Did he leave the vodka at least?
He didn't even
dipped out.
Huh? Everything was gone, dude. Everything.
How to get into unwanted competitions 101. Learning with Theo Von.
If you fought, dude, like if somebody.
Top 10.
Dude, I could not. I just don't even think I could fight, man. I remember one kid attacked me once in school. It didn't go really well. I got attacked by a bunch of dogs.
Dogs? That's a different animal.
Yeah, but
literally.
Yeah,
like
but
how do you
out
fuck
there.
with a dog?
Two of them came back and attacked me on my birthday again a year later.
On your birthday?
Swear to God,
when
dude.
they come back, they came back like it's this fool's birthday.
You take any bites?
Yeah, I took a couple bites, went to the hospital. It was my birthday. I remember I was 11 years old, and then at 12 years old, two of them came back and got me again. Like they knew. That's what I'm saying.
Even the dogs couldn't forget their guy.
Dude, I ended up. Did you ever have a weird scenario? Because I had one. Like I ended up in a taxi cab.
Okay.
All right, zooted up, man. Some girl.
Where do you mind? Where were you living at this point?
I was living out here.
Okay,
and that's when I kind of like I had a couple nights in a row where I got really just coked out, right? And I started just.
And then I was in New York one night and a girl said something to me in a taxi. Oh, I tried to give her a smooch, right? And I wasn't being aggressive or anything. She was flirting. I tried to give her a smooch. She kind of like rejected me. She was kind of mean about it, right? Or I took it as mean, right?
Okay.
And it was fine. She got out of the taxi. There was no animosity between us. It was just, you know, it wasn't going to happen. But then something in my head, like I told the driver, let's go get some cocaine, you know? So next thing you know, me and this taxi driver are getting some cocaine, and then he at one point wants to get some hookers, you know?
The taxi driver.
Yeah, he wants to get.
I'm surprised he didn't think it was a sting that you were asking to get cocaine. I feel like that's a lot of drivers actually get pinched that way.
Yeah, I think maybe, yeah, I guess he didn't give.
You didn't seem undercover.
Yeah,
yeah.
I seemed overcover probably. Or I think he seemed like, damn, somebody better cover this.
You were
dude
covered,
up.
yeah.
So anyway, dude, fast forward a couple hours later, I'm driving this guy's taxi. He's in the back.
And we're talking about an LA yellow cab?
We're talking about a New York.
I'm sorry, New York.
New York yellow cab.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
We're up in North Harlem. I'm driving this guy's taxi, and he's in the back with a hooker, right?
Did he have the beaded seat thing? How was the seat comfort?
The back seat was pretty nice, I remember.
No, but the front seat once you were driving.
I thought it was pretty good. I was pretty scared. I just wanted to get back to my hotel.
Sure.
And I didn't know.
I would love to be up in that cockpit for a second, you know, of a real New York City yellow cab and just see the setup. Because I never get my setup right.
It felt
drinks to phone cord to just like, I never feel like I have my console right.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'd like to see how they do it.
I think it felt like somebody had sat in there who had like, it felt like the guy in there was like he was going to leave his children probably.
Oh, okay.
It had a sinking.
Yeah. You could feel the despair. Also, the guy was in the back seat.
That's true. That
so it wasn't just, So in terms of his vibe, you had it coming from a bunch of directions.
Right. And then anyway, so I ended up and I had to do Opie and Jim Norton that morning, right?
Oh, wow.
So I ended up on the radio and Daryl Strawberry was in there. And I get to the radio station, I can't even talk, right? I'm just like blasted out of my brain, you know? And I'm still thinking, I was still ducking off in the bathroom. I'm doing cocaine in the bathroom. We're in the stalls at Sirius Radio. Andy Cohen's in there peeing in the next one, talking to me, right? And I'm just sitting in there just blasting up.
Yeah.
And then
I would always kill for the single occupant bathroom.
Yeah.
With the key.
Oh. When you got in there, you're like, God.
It's your office.
Welcome to Rome.
What won't I blow this line off of?
Dude, yeah.
I got every surface imaginable. Counter to counter.
The saddest part was doing some cocaine off the
baby changing station. Yeah. I got a joke about that in my new special.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just for you.
Thank you. But yeah, so that was a night for me when I saw Daryl Strawberry. He was on the radio station, right?
Oh, you saw Daryl while gacked up?
He was the other guest.
Oh, wow.
So that was a moment for me where everything kind of lined up.
Could he tell?
No. I don't think. I had on sunglasses, which was weird. I'd been doing well going on this show.
Yeah.
And I had on sunglasses and I could barely talk, I remember.
Yeah.
And that was scary because my only gift I had in my voice, the only thing in my life I'd had to express myself was my voice.
Yeah.
And suddenly I couldn't use it.
Okay. And your mind, which you now had to use because you were going to be interviewed on the radio.
Yeah, and it was real scary. And then also this moment of seeing Daryl Strawberry, someone who I'd always thought was all coked out of his brain.
Sure.
Because that's all I'd ever heard, right?
Yeah.
Was the old stories. I didn't know that he was a sober guy and had his deal together.
Oh, yeah. I assumed he had his deal together, but I did think he'd be able to spot you still.
Yeah, I didn't know what I thought, I think.
Okay.
You know? Which I don't know if that even makes any sense. But there was some alignment at that moment of like me not having control over my voice, me having a perception of somebody else that was false or something.
Sure.
And that just lined up.
And you hadn't slept and you were on cocaine.
Yeah.
The cocaine stories never seem to end.
Dude, we used to get high when we were kids and we'd go outside and get high and then I'd come back in early into my buddy's house And I would tell his dad, I would be like, "Oh, Mr. Mike, man," because his dad was like had a lot of like anti-gay energy, you know.
Really?
Yeah, and he would just say stuff all that, you know, like queers, just say stuff, you know, just like ignorant shit. You
Did
know?
he have his pants off when he did
Huh?
it?
No, I didn't see anything like that. But I'd come in after we'd been out there smoking weed. I'd come in and I'd be like, "Mr. Mike, man, they were being, I don't know, Richard was over and people were just being kind of."
Touchy-feely.
Yeah, it's just real strange out
You
there.
bait him? Did you bait him?
Yeah, bro. So then, dude, my friends Adam would come back inside, man, and his dad would be like, "What in the fuck have you boys been doing out there? You've been queering around."
And queering as a verb is very funny.
"Oh, you've been queering around, boys?" And he was just, just lighting into it, dude. And I would be dying with laughter. And they were so high, they didn't know how to explain that they hadn't been, queering.
Because they're so high and you set them up. Do you feel bad about that?
I feel great about it. That shit was some of the fun. I loved creating an ambiance in advance, man.
Oh, so you knew it was coming.
And they had a gas leak over at that house too, man. And we'd go over there, bro. We'd sleep from fucking Friday night to Sunday morning.
Not Theo setting his high friends up.
In the joke. There was one time, man, they used to have this room in LA called, it was like at a bar cafe in UCLA in Westwood. It was like,
college kids are ruthless.
yeah, and it was UCLA bar, so there's no chick. It's a sad environment for like compared to what most college kids are used to.
Yeah.
So one kid starts heckling me in the audience, dude. He's talking shit, right? I got just lost it, man. I get off stage. I'm coming at the dude, start choking him.
What?
Yeah, choking the guy.
Wow.
And I didn't realize I had the mic in my hand the whole time I'm choking him, right?
Yeah. You could hear the swallowing.
Oh, yeah, you could hear it all. It's crazy. And I'm like, why were you being so mean to me? Just the fucking lamest thing you could say to somebody.
Yeah.
But and people were dying laughing because he and I are tussling, but the mic is right there.
Choking someone while asking them why they are being mean to you is hilarious on so many levels. That's all for this one. Hit that like and subscribe button so we see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.